This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. Let's talk about it, man. Tom Brady is quintessentially the GOAT of football. And let me explain why. Michael Jordan chose Kobe Bryant. Floyd Mayweather chose Earl Spence. Joe Montana chose Tom Brady. Joe Montana made it very clear, and this is when Tom Brady won the 6th Super Bowl. It wasn't even the 7th. He's right up there. He is the GOAT. Like, when we're having a legitimate conversation, for a very long time, I was brought up. But what this man has done has superseded the things that I have done. So when we look at Tom Brady, we have to put him in the GOAT conversation. We can't have our cake and want to eat it too. When it comes to black quarterbacks, we can't say that because we want to support black quarterbacks that we're rooting for them and we're rooting for their attrition. Don't get me wrong, I'm always root for my own before I root for anything. That's very clear, cutthroat, and there's no delineation, there's no distinction, there's no golf, and there's no separation. Anyone that has the question, he knows everything on that. He knows everything, doesn't have the time to waste and occupy in that toxic behavior. But what he knows everything will say, and what he knows everything will make very clear, because it needs to be made very clearly, is as simple as this. That Tom Brady plays the hardest position. You see, in football, unless you're just a football casual, and he knows everything, can give you guys a fun fact. Football was actually his favorite sport before basketball even became an idea in his brain. So he knows a thing or two about football. He knows a thing or two about understanding the dichotomies of football, understanding the realities of football, understanding the identities and the affiliation of football, and understanding the realities of football. And see, one of the realities that you have to understand when it comes to the pigskin, the quarterback position is the most complex position. It is basically the most comprehensive from a mental standpoint, because the quarterback position pushes you mentally to think. You are a leader of men. If you notice, a team goes as a quarterback goes. When a quarterback's confidence is shot, the team is shot. When a quarterback's basically ideology and mindset is shot, the team is shot. When a quarterback's thought process is shot, the team is shot. And you guys want to know why that is evident and why that is truthful and why that is honest on so many levels and so many variations and so many facets? Because when it's all said and done, the quarterback position is a position that explains clearly and cutthroatly that it has the most complex playbook. It has the most complex way of seeing things. It has the most complexity in terms of everything that it brings to the table. Quarterbacks are put in a position where they have to think on the fly. They have to make the highest degree of difficulty of decision making. And quarterbacks, if their confidence are shaken, whether you're offense or defense, the team is shaken. How does He Knows Everything know this? Because He Knows Everything played the quarterback position. Richie Rich could attest to this. He Knows Everything used to make life very hard for Richie Rich. He used to put Richie Rich in pickled situations where Richie Rich would have to catch the ball in situations that was not likened unto him. But it made Richie Rich the greatest wide receiver, because He Knows Everything felt that if Richie Rich can get the catches wherever and however, then those catches in of itself would put him in prime position for him to be successful. He Knows Everything had to constantly see blitz. He had to constantly see guys coming at him. He had to constantly let the ball go. The quarterback position, you have to think fast. So when people say that Tom Brady is not an athlete, what is your definition of an athlete? He's playing an athletic sport. He's being tackled by athletes. And Tom Brady has got on his bicycle when needed to be to go and get touchdown. He's not afraid of taking contact. Football's a contact sport. If you're playing that sport and you're playing the quarterback position, whether you're a mobile quarterback or not, you are an athlete. So let's not sit here and say that Tom Brady is not an athlete. Now, is he the greatest athlete? That's a question in of itself. I agree if folks say that you can't put him on the same breath with Floyd Mayweather. You can't put him in the same breath with Michael Jordan. You can't put him in the same breath with Kobe Bryant. You can't put him in the same breath with these types of athletes. Yeah, that is true. We're not going to sit here and go against that. But he's an athlete nevertheless. And we have to look at the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Tom Brady's numbers don't lie. This man has won 7 Super Bowls off of the strength of him just being greatness personification. This man is a 2-minute offensive surgeon. He does surgery on bodies like, hey, doctor, he is juvenile on the football field. Let me say it again. He does surgery on bodies like, hey, doctor. This man is juvenile on the football field. And as unctioning as juvenile, he's dominating the sport like nobody's business. So we got to give this man credit. We have to give him pedigree. We have to give him his flowers. He deserves it. This man proved that he was more than meets the eye. Transformers. When he won a Super Bowl, minus Bill Belichick. He proved his worth. Tom Brady is clutch. You can't teach clutchness. So we're not going to sit here and defame Tom Brady because we want to bring up our brothers. It's okay to bring up your brothers, but at the same time, acknowledge Tom Brady. That doesn't go against Tom Brady's greatness. Listen, Lamar Jackson has a lot to fucking prove. I don't care the promise that he has, the greatness that he has. He has a lot to prove. He has to go out there and do what Tom Brady did. If he doesn't do that, he will be held to the feet to the fire. He has to go out there and win Super Bowls. He has to go out there and win. And he has to do it. Tom Brady has already done it. So if there's any attacks that you're going to make on quarterbacks, you got to make it on the Aaron Rodgers of the world. These types of people that haven't proven themselves to the full variation, the full aspect, the full degree, and the full magnitude. We're still talking about Aaron Rodgers being talked about from one Super Bowl this man has won. This guy has not been able to win and win and win. This is what Tom Brady has done. Tom Brady has done this with different players. Tom Brady has proven that even if you give him flashy players, he can dominate. He had Randy Moss. Go look at other quarterbacks that have had these scenarios, that have played under these situations. They haven't dominated. Ocho Cinco didn't have a problem when he was with the New England Patriots because Tom Brady was making sure he was getting the ball. Ocho Cinco's problem was an Ocho Cinco problem. Tom Brady proved that he can play with any fucking body. Tom Brady proved that any receiver can get numbers. This man has raised up the Wes Welkers of the world, the Julian, these types of individuals. If these guys are not playing with Tom Brady, we wouldn't fucking know who they are. Aaron Rodgers, Rob Gronkowski. These guys would be no fucking bodies, man. Tom Brady elevated these guys. And we need to give Tom Brady respect. We need to put respect on his fucking name. Because Tom Brady is the GOAT. Now, if you're talking about pushing the agenda for your own and you're talking about basically going off of your own, I have no problems with that. But you're not going to shit on Tom Brady in the process. Tom Brady's your favorite quarterback, leave it at that. But he doesn't deserve flack because you're pushing Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has great potential, but he also has a great responsibility to show that he is not just great fucking potential and that he is also great fucking reality. If he doesn't show this, then what Lamar Jackson has proven is a bunch of nothing. I'm just being honest with you guys here. See, we judge things at the highest levels, and when you judge things at the highest levels, you don't judge it off of potential. You judge it off of realities. Tom Brady's reality. So when we talk about greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So Tom Brady's greatness can't be stopped Because Tom Brady's greatness is certified. So when we talk about GOAT of football, there's no question in the fact that Tom Brady is the GOAT of fucking football. But now we're talking about the GOAT of GOATs in all of sports. That's a whole different conversation in of itself. Nobody gets the opportunity to hold that title above Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Because Michael Jeffrey Jordan checked off all the markers. From an athlete perspective, from an inspiration perspective, from a motivation perspective. Heck, guys that are on that list, i.e. the Tom Brady's and the Wayne Gretzky's of the world, digress to Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant's, Floyd Mayweather's have digressed to Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan is the GOAT of GOATs. We're not going to sit here and even open those can of worms. But GOAT of football, the greatest of all time, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Just like Barry Bonds' numbers is infallible in baseball, Tom Brady's numbers is infallible in football, man. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cut through television. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. I keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. Listen, man, Birdman said it best. It's time to put respect on Tom Brady's name. You can't go off of potential, man. You can't go off of what guys can do. If Lamar Jackson shows you all of this greatness and he has no Super Bowl to show for it, then basically he's not going to live up to expectation. So this man has to win Super Bowls. He has to win multiple Super Bowls, especially the way he's being propped up. Tom Brady's already done this. He's already put in the fucking work. Irie keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. Irie keeps the foot on the what? Eggs. He knows everything. Check it out.